academic formats. You will be aware by now that university, as a student, you will be expected to undertake a variety of assessment assignments. And if you don't, or aren't aware of this, well, you are now. Hopefully you will have some appreciation of the differences in styles and formats from your own experience in discussion with your tutors. Examples of the different academic formats will include written essays, reports, projects, exams, online assessments, reflective writing, poster presentations, or even practical assessments. So the assignment process. These, the main thing to remember is the construction of assignment is a linear process. So you're going to need to conduct some research and conduct some planning. Then obviously you're going to need to write and formulate that, and then you're going to go back and revise that content. As well as a linear process, it's also a circular process. So you might conduct some research and start planning, and then you may go back and do a bit more research because you've found something else that you want to look at. Then you're going to write some stuff up, and then you may come up with some more ideas and revisit that plan. So that process of going back and forward between research, planning and writing is going to occur through that assignment process. Another key thing to think about, obviously when you're formulating your assignments and pulling things together, is in your interpretation of the question or task. The most important aspect to successful assignment preparation is to interpret the question or task correctly. This will help you to avoid spending hours taking irrelevant and usable notes, give you a clear idea of what the question is getting at and a better understanding of what the marker is looking for in your work. Give you the opportunity to get your ideas and insights involved at an early stage. Without this, your work can be seen as routine and predictable. What I will say, there's been plenty of occasions over the years of obviously working in higher education where people have misinterpreted the question, not answered the question, and you're actually wondering, have they even looked at the question in the assignment brief and the learning outcomes of the module, what we're trying to assess you against. It's really important you spend a bit of time on this process to make sure you are getting the correct information across. 10 steps for better assignments. Number 1, preparation. Look at the question, understand it, break it down and develop an action plan. 2, targeted research and active reading. Read and ask questions as you go. Make paragraph themes and patterns. Gather information and put them into key themes and phrases. Write and read. Write as you read and make notes and take time to draft possible paragraphs. When you complete drafts, add in an introduction and conclusion to your paragraphs. And then leave it. Once you have done this, take a break from it. Then you can go back and review, revise, edit and go back over your work. Sometimes you can spend too long sitting down looking at the same piece of work and it gets stale. It's really important that you proofread, read over it, read aloud. And the other thing, sometimes I always do this, is get someone else to read your work, even if they don't understand what it's about, just to make sure it makes sense. Because sometimes when you spend a lot of time doing something and you read and read and read through it, it makes sense to you, but then sometimes mistakes are made. 9, hand in and check in hand-in procedures before the hand-in date. And then 10, feedback, make sure you read that feedback and work on the areas of improvement for next time. We're now going to quickly run through the different types of assessment formats you may experience. Within future weeks, you will see a more detailed overview of each of these areas. So essays, discuss key topics and theories linked to your studies. Look for fors and against, develop critical and analytical thinking, and are generally written in the third person, past tense and supported with references. You may consider using that 5-paragraph structure of an introduction, 3 main discussion points and then conclusion. So if I was conducting the following of what makes a good coach, think about 3 points you would use as a basis for your essay. If you are, in a group, you maybe want to chat about this. So, create the discussion points, what you would include in that essay structure. The other thing to think about is the outline of individual paragraphs within that essay. So you may also look to break that paragraph. So we orientate the reader, so within the introduction, and identify the focus and purpose outline or scope of that, paragraph. We may include then the body of the paragraph to include a topic sentence, supporting material and concluding sentence. We may do multiple of these within that body. And at the end of that paragraph, we may then retake, or reinstate a thesis or a supporting argument which kind of backs up the points we've made in that paragraph. So it's really important not to just understand the structure of essays, but also how we look at structure in paragraphs. Analysis and critical discussion. Do not believe everything that you see, hear or read. A critical approach requires not taking evidence or explanations at face value, finding ways of exploring, exposing underlying assumptions and challenging received wisdom. Another assessment area is reports. It's a practical document where you write up key findings. Examples include experiments or business reports. Generally are written in the third person past tense and include headings and subheadings. Report writing structure. Basically, you're going to use a third person formal style. It's going to have objectives, it's going to be clear, concise and lead to conclusions. You may even section it into kind of introduction, lit review, methods, results, discussion, conclusion, references and appendix.